Welcome to Anime Analyzer. Today, we're diving into one of the most emotionally powerful and action-packed arcs in anime history, Demon Slayer Season 2. But before the Entertainment District arc lit up our screens, everything began with the legendary Mugen Train. So in this video, we'll cover the entire journey, from the heart-wrenching battles aboard the Mugen Train to the explosive showdown in the Entertainment District. Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke meet Koyoharu on the train. After an explanation of the situation by the Hashira, they discover two demons hidden on board and witness Koyoharu's impressive abilities firsthand. Into the night, all four demon slayers fall asleep, with Tanjiro dreaming about being reunited with his lost family. In actuality, they have fallen into the blood demon art of Enmu. The demon had mixed his blood into the ink of their tickets, allowing his plan to go into motion without being noticed. As Tanjiro falls deeper into his slumber, Enmu finds joy that they may never awaken again. Whilst the demon slayers are asleep, Enmu instructs four recruited passengers to tie their wrists to theirs, fall asleep, and enter their dreams. Armed with an awl made of his bone, they must search for their spiritual core and destroy it to incapacitate them. Koyoharu's intruder finds his core, but his intensely strong spirit manages to stop her in the real world. Nezuko, who is unaffected by Enmu's blood demon art, emerges from her box and tries to wake up Tanjiro. Though her attempts to do so fail, she is able to alert him that he is in a dream. In an ultimate attempt to wake himself up, Tanjiro slashes his own neck in order to regain consciousness. Tanjiro's intruder enters his subconsciousness, but finds himself unwilling to destroy his spiritual core. Tanjiro awakens to find his peers asleep. Nezuko burns the ropes on their wrists, which awakens the intruders. They attack Tanjiro, who knocks them out. He spares his intruder after learning how sick and desperate he was. When Zenitsu and Inosuke fail to awaken, Tanjiro climbs onto the roof to confront Enmu. Despite the demon repeatedly forcing him into unconsciousness, Tanjiro overcomes this by knowing to commit suicide to wake up and eventually beheads him. However, Enmu does not die and reveals that he has fused with the entire train. Inosuke then awakens and assists Tanjiro in battling the demon. Inosuke and Tanjiro fight Enmu from inside the train, but find their attacks futile. Nezuko joins the fight but is nearly overwhelmed until Zenitsu's intervention. Koyoharu damages Enmu enough to stall his assault and explains his plan to Tanjiro. He himself, Zenitsu, and Nezuko will protect the passengers while he and Inosuke will search for Enmu's neck. They locate it at the train's locomotive, but Enmu continues to generate flesh as protection. The driver, wanting to protect him, stabs Tanjiro in the stomach. However, he perseveres, and coordinating with Inosuke, successfully exposes Enmu's neck. Using his Hinokami Kagura, Tanjiro beheads Enmu, causing the train to derail and crashes into the ground. After the train derails, Enmu disintegrates. Tanjiro struggles with his wound, but manages to stabilize it under Koyoharu's guidance. They are then confronted by Upper 3 Akaza, who tries to persuade Koyoharu into turning into a demon, having sensed how powerful he was. Appealing to his integrity as a demon slayer, he immediately refuses, causing Akaza to attack him. He orders Tanjiro and Inosuke to stay behind. Despite Koyoharu's tremendous strength and speed, Akaza overwhelms him with his unique martial arts and powerful regeneration, injuring him severely as Tanjiro and Inosuke do nothing but look from afar helplessly. Making a last stand, Koyoharu unleashes one final attack on Akaza, but the demon mortally wounds him and flees upon the arrival of daybreak. A desperate Tanjiro hurls his sword at Akaza, who nonetheless escapes as he angrily denounces him as a coward for fleeing. As Kyojuro succumbs to his injuries, he confides in Tanjiro messages for both his brother and father for him to give them. He accepts Nezuko as a member of the Demon Slayer Corps and encourages Tanjiro to set his heart ablaze. He sees a vision of his proud mother before dying peacefully. The Hashira receive the news of Kyojuro's death, while Corps leader Kagaya Ubuyashiki appreciates him for not letting anyone else die in his presence. Akaza meets with Muzan, who expresses disappointment in him for not being able to kill the other 3 demon slayers other than Kyojuro. Tanjiro goes to meet Kyojuro's brother Senjuro and his father Shinjuro. Shinjuro, the former flame Hashira but now an alcoholic who detests the demon slayers and sees his sons as failures. However, when he sees Tanjiro's earrings, he explains to him he is a bearer of the first breathing technique, called sun breathing. Tanjiro accosts him for disrespecting Kyojuro, leading to a fight. Later, Senjuro thanks Tanjiro for passing him his brother's messages. 4 months after Kyojuro's death, Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke accompany Sound Hashira Tengen Uzui to their next mission, investigating the famed Yoshiwara Red Light District. In order to investigate the suspected demonic presence in Yoshiwara, Tengen had sent his 3 wives to infiltrate the 3 largest courtesan houses in the district. However, they stopped contacting him, causing him to worry. Tengen disguises Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu as girls and sells them to the 3 houses in which his wives were deployed to find clues to their fate. Despite initial difficulty, all 3 are accepted to work at the houses. As Tengen surveys the district from the rooftops, it is revealed that Makio, one of Tengen's wives, is held captive in a secluded room in Inosuke's house, being restrained by numerous obi and enduring interrogation from a mysterious female voice. Inosuke investigates Makio's room and discovers something moving through the ceiling and walls, though it evades him. Zenitsu defends a girl from being scolded by Warabi-hime, the house's Oiran. He recognizes her as a demon, but is attacked and knocked unconscious. Days before the mission had begun, the madam of the house confronts Warabi-hime, having determined her true identity, but Warabi-hime drops her onto the street to her death. She is then greeted by Muzan, who praises her and addresses the demon by her true name, Daki, the upper rank 6. Later, Zenitsu wakes up and is tended to by the girls he had defended. After they leave, he is captured by Daki. Realizing Zenitsu is missing, Tengen dismisses Tanjiro and Inosuke, not wanting them to risk their lives for the mission. The 2 refuse to abandon him and prepare themselves. Tengen interrogates the master of Zenitsu's house, who tells him about Warabi-hime. Tanjiro detects a demonic scent coming from his house and sees Daki absorbing the house's oiran into her obi. The 2 fight, but she overwhelms Tanjiro with her numerous obi sashes. One of the straps on Nezuko's box breaks, forcing Tanjiro to leave her behind as he confronts Daki, readying himself to face the strongest demon he will have fought thus far. Tengen finds Hinatsuru on the outskirts of the district, having poisoned herself to escape, but remaining unable to contact him. Tanjiro tries to use Hinokami Kagura, but realizes the fatigue on his body is preventing him from fighting effectively. Inosuke discovers a tunnel under his house, leading to a cavern that serves as a holding cell for Daki's victims. The obi inside it is able to function independently from Daki's body. Inosuke first attempts to slay it, but decides to prioritize freeing the people trapped inside. He manages to free Tengen's wives Suma and Makio, as well as Zenitsu, all of whom assist him in his fight before being joined by Tengen. During their battle, Daki's attacks lead to numerous casualties. Tanjiro angrily retaliates, using Hinokami Kagura to enhance his speed and power. She sees memories of a similar figure to Tanjiro, which she surmises belonged to Muzan's cells in her body. Tanjiro pushes Daki on the defensive and nearly beheads her when he suddenly collapses. He had been fighting without sustaining his breathing, and a vision from his late sister only saves him from suffocation. Daki prepares to kill Tanjiro when Nezuko intervenes. Remembering Muzan's mention of a rogue demon, Daki attacks Nezuko, but is shocked to see her healing instantly. Nezuko then matures in appearance to face her. Nezuko's increasingly powerful regeneration and blood demon art overwhelms Daki, but she accidentally injures a bystander and her demonic bloodlust overwhelms her senses. She almost attacks them before Tanjiro intervenes. Tengen arrives and beheads Daki, doubtful she is an upper rank. However, she does not die, and instead, her brother Gyutaro emerges from within her body. Gyutaro, the true upper six, heals Daki and battles Tengen with his sickles and blood demon art. Tengen is injured and struggles to defend himself, realizing that Daki cannot die whilst Gyutaro is alive. Tanjiro calms Nezuko down, just as Zenitsu and Inosuke arrive. Taking Nezuko to safety, Tanjiro focuses on the battle despite his injuries. Tengen separates Daki from Gyutaro and is joined by the trio. Yoshiwara is evacuated by Suma and Makio, while Hinatsuru makes her way to Tengen. The Demon Slayers plan to behead the demons simultaneously, but Daki engages Zenitsu and Inosuke, while Gyutaro fights Tengen and Tanjiro. Fighting as one, the demons gradually overwhelm their opponents, but Tanjiro, realizing his water breathing is more useful defensively, is able to fend off Gyutaro's attacks. Hinatsuru appears and fires wisteria-laced kunais at Gyutaro, paralyzing him and allowing Tengen and Tanjiro to reach his neck. Gyutaro neutralizes the wisteria and fends off Tengen and Tanjiro before grabbing Hinatsuru. Tanjiro combines his Hinokami Kagura and water breathing in a charge that stuns Gyutaro and saves her. Tengen joins him to slashing Gyutaro's neck, but he stops their blades and unleashes his blood demon art, forcing Tengen to throw him and himself away. As Tengen fights Gyutaro, Tanjiro joins Zenitsu and Inosuke against Daki. He and Zenitsu open Inosuke's path, allowing him to behead her. He runs away with her head when Gyutaro stabs him from behind. Tanjiro looks for Tengen and sees him wounded and motionless. Devastated for not being able to help him, he freezes. Zenitsu pushes him off the roof away from Daki's OB. Tanjiro survives his fall but is confronted by Gyutaro, mocking his inability to protect anyone. He offers to transform him, but Tanjiro responds by headbutting him, secretly stabbing him with a laced kunai and attempting to behead him once more. Daki intervenes but is attacked by Zenitsu with his fastest form. Gyutaro removes the kunai and recovers. Before he can kill Tanjiro, Tengen, who halted the poison's effects, intervenes, battling Gyutaro despite his wounds. Tanjiro reaches Gyutaro's neck but is stabbed in the jaw. His scar transforms into a fiery mark, giving him the strength to slice through. Zenitsu loses momentum without cutting Daki's neck when Inosuke appears, having survived Gyutaro's attack. The demons are beheaded simultaneously, but in the aftermath, Gyutaro's body erupts in blood blades, destroying the city. Nezuko burns the blood blades with her fire. Tanjiro reunites with Zenitsu, Inosuke, and Tengen, while Nezuko burns Gyutaro's poison from their bodies. She and Tanjiro set out to finish off the demons and find them insulting their relationship. When Daki fades away right in front of him, Gyutaro calls her by her true human name, Ume. As he fades into nothing, Gyutaro recalls their past. They were born in a red light district into poverty and suffered from an abusive mother. Despite his appearance burdening him, Ume, considered very attractive as a child, gave them a comfortable life. One day, she attacked a customer of hers and was burned in retaliation. Gyutaro found her and killed the people responsible. They were found by the upper rank 6 of then and transformed. In the afterlife, the siblings reconcile and walk to hell together. Serpent Hashira Obanai Iguro arrives, sarcastically praising Tengen for killing Upper Six. However, Tengen relinquishes his position and informs him of Tanjiro's potential. An increasingly ill Kagaya is overjoyed at the news, while Akaza is summoned to the interdimensional Infinity Castle, where he realizes that an upper rank has fallen.